Welcome to PS3 Gamer Nation.
This is PS3 Gamer Nation. For gamers, by gamers, reviewing only PlayStation 3 games from disc to downloaded. I'm Sean McCoy, and today I'm going to be looking at Fallout 3. Be warned, it's rated M for mature, for extreme violence and language. Now, you start off in Washington, D.C., in the wastelands of a post-nuclear war. Well, on to the review.
In Fallout 3, you start out in the year 2277, and it's many years after a nuclear war, in a fallout shelter called Vault 101. After you get out of the fallout shelter, the brutal realities of anarchy-driven wasteland hits you quickly. You're on your own to explore this vast land full of raiders, mutants, and strange creatures, along with the odd friendly person. Be careful of your choices since it determines your karma, whether good, bad, or neutral, and affects how people interact with you and enables different missions and perks. As for graphics go, it's not the kind of graphics you expect in most games, but it makes sense here since it's after a nuclear war, and the Washington DC has been demolished for the most part. During the day, it's still a dark and dreary environment, which goes along with the whole storyline. Now, landmarks like the Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, and Pentagon are still there, for the most part. Now, there is a small glitch that I have seen. Maybe I'm being a little nitpicky, but after you shoot somebody and a person disappears into the ground, I call that a glitch. It only happens very rarely, about 0.5% of the time, 1 out of 200 people. So, with that being said, the graphics get a 9 out of 10. Now, moving on to audio. Well, the sound effects are great, from sneaking around a raiders camp to a full-on gun battle. And what's nice is their unique gun sounds. Sounds simple enough, but I've seen enough games that did not have that. So you could hear exactly what gun they have before you even see them, which is handy. Now, the background music suits this game well. You will naturally tense up when the music picks up, since there is now an enemy trying to kill you, whether you notice them or not. The audio gets 10 out of 10. Moving on to gameplay. Now, since this is a shooting RPG, you do need something to keep track of your inventory. And in this game, they use a Pip-Boy 3000, which is a computer strapped onto your wrist. Now, it took a little bit to get used to the Pip-Boy at first, but became well accustomed to it quickly, and now rely on it. Now, for a difference between most games is a thing called VATS system, which allows you to aim at a particular part of the body when you shoot at an enemy. Which doesn't mean you're going to hit that part, since there is a percentage shown of what is currently exposed. Plus, it takes into account your current skill level, along with whether or not your limbs are crippled or not. The missions are straightforward and unravel the main story at your own pace. That's why gameplay gets a 10 out of 10. And now on to replay value. Well, there always seems to be a part of the map that's untraveled that adds to the experience of the game as a whole. and will pass the time quickly. Now, some things in the game are only available at either higher levels or at a certain karma rating. For instance, you can only work for a slaver when you have bad karma, though that comes with its own problems, like mercenaries coming to kill you by surprise out of nowhere. This game has a long shelf life, and I give it a 10 out of 10 for replay value. Finally, Fallout 3 is quite the game. It involves scavenging the wasteland for valuable items, fighting off raiders, and choosing who to help, keeping the super mutants population in check, and pretty much whatever you want to do. This game really works as a shooter RPG, better than I ever thought it could merge together. I must say, this is a must-buy for an RPG lover, or maybe even someone that is new to the role-playing games, since this is one of the best, if not the best, so far. This is 10 out of 10 for final score. Thanks for checking out our podcast. There's now audio and video podcasts available at ps3gamernation.com. Be sure to email us at ps3gamernation@gmail.com for questions or comments. You can go to the forum through our website or directly at ps3gamernation.net. Because in the end, it's for gamers by gamers. This is PS3 Gamer Nation.